Here we
Hey
go. Hey,
now.
hey, Tasha, how
Good
are you?
evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Oh my goodness.
Hi everyone joining us tonight. So glad you could be with us. I am Tasha Howland.
And I am Sharon Porter, and we are the AQ Partners. We are accountability coaches who have held each other accountable to achieve some really great things in life. And we are here to help you to do the same thing.
So excited. Live chats every week just to impart some inspiration, hopefully, and some nuggets to help you move through life and planning your goals and achieving things a little more easily.
Yes. So tonight we have a really good topic, right?
Hi, Evangeline. Good evening.
Hey, Gangsta E, how are you? So good to see you. All right, we started a little early.
Good evening, Gail.
Good evening, Gail. All right, so tonight's chat. Practice makes not perfect, but it makes progress.
It's not what I was taught, but I like it. I think
Absolutely.
we were all taught that practice makes perfect.
Yes.
And we should be striving for progression, right? I think perfect is heavy, right?
Yeah. I think it can be a healthy pursuit, understanding that it's never attained.
Well, that becomes unhealthy for me. Like I'm just going after something I ain't never gonna get. Come on.
I mean, as long as I'm trying to be better, I am in progress.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
I like it. Good evening, Miss Nan.
Good evening, Miss Nan. How are you?
I
Who else do
mean,
we have?
good evening, Sandra.
Hi, Sandra. How are you? So good to see you tonight. All right, so let's get into
Consistency. That's it. Be consistent.
being consistent, right?
Yep.
And so are you giving up on perfection? I mean, or tell me more about this. You're just giving up on perfection.
Well,
Just
giving up is very strong language.
need to understand.
All I'm saying is I like the practice makes progress better.
Yes,
That progress is always the goal. It's important to progress,
yes.
not stand still, not be stagnant, to always grow. No one's perfect but Jesus. So
Come on, come through with your sermon. All right, so let's just talk about how do we get there, because for many of us we're going to be undoing some thinking, right?
for
Because
sure.
there's some of us who are absolutely caught up and it must be perfect. There are times that I do have that attribute, particularly when I'm working, and and one of the things that we've said to each other is that good is better than
Done is better.
done is better than perfect. Well, I guess
Perfect. Listen,
we have to
it's
clarify.
knocking this perfect down, right? We've been knocking the perfect down. And it is the changing of the mindset as long as I'm progressing because I'm like you. It may not be at work that I'm striving for perfection, but the way things are set up in my house and
Yeah.
with other people that play parts in this, perfect is never happening here. But progress is always important.
It is, I'm saying that because it's something that you and I have had to be very clear and outspoken and saying it out loud to
That's
each
right.
other and to ourselves. Done is better than perfect.
We're
So
working on something and it'll take forever because we are trying to get it perfect. And
right,
it's like we are wasting time. It's
yeah,
done.
done is better than perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into this. Tip number one: figure out your whys.
Always first step for us.
Always.
Whenever we're doing something, why are we doing this?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I think we've shared a few times as we set our own goals and as we coach, it's important to know why because that's what's going to make it stick,
Yes.
right? So we can look at finance is something that we talk about. I want to be debt free. Well, why do you want to be debt free?
Right.
Because the strongest why is going to keep you from buying that $5 coffee 5 days a week, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, why do I want to communicate better? I mean,
because I
listen.
want to stay married. That's my why. I do. I want to stay married.
Listen, I recently had a conversation with someone and she was asked the question, why do you want to get divorced? And no, and I thought it's an interesting question, but it was a fair question, right? Why do you? Because it's going to challenge you. Is this really a road that you want to go down? So no matter what it is, no matter where you are on that spectrum, it's a very clear question you need to ask yourself, and you have to have a strong why.
Yeah.
Gang P says, as you practice, you have to change things to become better and better. You're moving toward what we think is perfect. Absolutely.
I wonder if perfection changes as you get better and better.
I think it does.
There you go.
As Dr. Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. So you may have thought you were at the mountaintop and then you came into a whole level different of understanding and you're like, oh no. Like I'm just gonna say this. Like I remember as just being younger and not knowing anything about quality clothes, you couldn't tell me.
I-79.
Come on, you couldn't tell me. I didn't know nothing about rayon. Okay?
The worst.
Couldn't tell me. Okay, tip number 2. Nan says amen. Establish.
Establish tangible goals.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that we also do. We want our goals to be smart, right? Not
Yeah.
a term that we use often, but we use the tenets of SMART. Very specific, measurable, SMA,
Yes. Achievable.
achievable,
Dang it.
realistic, and
Realistic
time
and time-based. Yes.
time based. It's always like, okay, I want to do this. Is that realistic? I think you ask me that question quite often
Yes.
because in my mind, there are more than 24 hours in the day,
Yes. In your mind.
and I don't need sleep
In your mind.
in my mind. So I'm often challenged about setting realistic goals because I do have this, I want to do everything. I want to achieve so much in this very short period of time, and I often have to be scaled back to reality.
And it's unrealistic and it only does damage to ourselves. And then of course we feel disappointed because we didn't make the goal,
Yep.
whatever that was. So setting and establishing a goals that are tangible, that are realistic, that are smart will only help you. Create your game plan. Tasha and I are in the middle of this right now. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., we will be working on our own personal game plans together, where we are asking each other these very hard questions. Why do we want to do this? How are we going to get there? What does that look like? How much time do you think that's going to take? Have you considered this? Maybe you want to do this in a couple of months, maybe not right now.
Right.
And all the good questions and all the juicy questions that help you create a really outstanding, quite frankly, game plan on how you get and meet your goals and keep
And it
moving
is a
forward.
living document, right? We have been working on this for a couple of months, and as we go back to it, it's always going back to what you said already. Is there any refining that we need to do here? Or when we talked about this, you gave yourself 2 weeks. That was 2 weeks ago. Have you done it? Type of thing, right? And so it's a living document that we continue to go back to. Yeah,
And also, life is lifing, right? While we're doing these game
it
plans,
is.
life is lifing, and you have no idea what's going to happen next. And being flexible, being nimble, and you might come to a crossroads, and it's okay. You just pivot, but you can keep going.
And we've been doing this for over 11 years.
We have.
And I can say that I've seen my own personal growth, but I've seen your growth, and I still learn something new about you every time we go through this
Yeah. Well, because we're changing.
because we're changing. Yeah.
Right. Because we're changing. Tip number 4, put forth positivity. Amen.
Yes.
I make it a point to try to be positive, to try to find the good in whatever frustrating thing is going on. It's good for my mental health. It's good for the energy that I put. It's good for the energy that comes back to me.
Yeah, it's good for setting the tone for everything around you, right?
Absolutely.
At work and the home place and your relationships. Um, I'm sure people have heard this example before, but it's like someone giving you a wrapped present, right? And instead of being grateful for the gift that you were given, you can find everything else wrong in the room or, around you. And the person that's handing you the gift is like, but I just gave you a gift. Like, are you grateful for what you have? Right. And sometimes you
So
haven't even opened it or tapped into it. Right.
let me bring this up. Y'all are about to get into a very personal moment with Tasha and I.
Oh my gosh. Have I not been grateful about something or positive?
We just talked about it. And I would love everyone in the comments to tell us about putting forth positivity. So I live in North Carolina. Tasha lives in Maryland. You know where I'm going, right?
Oh my gosh.
Tasha, I love to be a good host. Tasha comes down to my house. I want her to be comfortable. My aunt is an amazing cook. She has heard about all the great meals that I have with my family.
Just notes that her aunt is a fantastic cook. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My aunt is a fantastic cook. Because Tasha has heard about all the great meals that we've had, oh, I would love to taste that. I say, okay. I ask my aunt, can you make a meal? I will buy all the things if you wouldn't mind making the meal. We get there. My aunt has a beautiful spread. The lamb was, what did you say, Tasha?
Life changing.
Life-changing lamb. Okay. I got life-changing lamb brought into the conversation and into Tasha's world. Okay. What Tasha says, well, you ain't really do nothing.
She said her aunt set it out, right? Her aunt did all the cooking.
She did it
Her
because I
aunt hosted
asked
me in
her
her
to.
home and fed me, and it was fabulous. And I was very grateful and
To
very
my
full.
aunt, but not at all to the person who did the asking, who paid for
Because
it.
what Sharon says is when everyone else comes to visit, ooh, I'm gonna do this for her, and I'm gonna take her here, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna make this, and I'm gonna make that. And
And
I'm
you
like, wait a
don't.
minute, I didn't get no crab deviled eggs, or I didn't get no fresh guacamole, or you didn't make me no sweet potato pancakes. Now wait
Wait
a
a minute.
minute.
And so Gangsta E said, I know she did say it. Yes, she said it. Can't no, because there's no because you'll be like, I don't want that. I don't want that. So yeah, I'm here to put forth positivity. That is just an internal thing that you all are seeing front line, what Tasha and I deal with, or what I deal with. So putting forth positivity is an important thing. Oh, practice
We're just gonna move
reflection.
on. I don't get to say anything else about it.
I mean, didn't you say it all? I think you really said everything you had to say. Hey,
Hey, Jeff.
hi, Jeffrey. Hola, Alejandro.
Listen, practice reflection is tip number 5. This is definitely an area of growth for me because, again, I said there's more than 24 hours in the day, and I want to fill every one of those hours doing something,
Yeah,
right? And you have to stop in order to practice reflection. And it's a work in progress for me. I have found some time early in the morning
yeah.
before my day starts and people start asking me for things. But I would like to do more of it. How do you practice reflection?
I really like to be self-aware, and so I'm always sort of thinking, why did I do something? How am I doing something? How do I feel about something that's happened? And so, and also, I have great accountability. I have great friends that I can feel safe to kind of share my thoughts with that can give me feedback as to, am I seeing this the right way? I always want to ask if I'm seeing something the right way. I don't always want to lean into my own understanding first. Sometimes I can, obviously, I'm human and I might react really quickly. I have learned with time that that is not the best way to respond to things, that it's better to take that step back. So I started learning to practice reflection because I got tired of apologizing. So
Mm,
so I'm pretty intent on practicing reflection.
I like it.
All right. And tip number 6,
Celebrate every achievement. I mean, I think it goes all the way back to, being perfect. It's not the goal, progressing, right? And the achievement creates momentum
right.
and you get to celebrate. So if I'm progressing, then there's all these celebrations, and I love celebrations, especially with lamb. What's an achievement that we can celebrate? Say again?
I hope she make you some more lamb one day. I do. I really do hope she does.
She knows how grateful I am for the lamb, and so I'm sure that she will.
Okay. Okay.
Let's celebrate an achievement of yours, Sharon. Share something with us so that we can celebrate you.
Celebrate. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, listen, I am here to celebrate I'm here to celebrate getting out of COVID and getting out of COVID alive. So I
want something more specific attached to your goal. Here, I'll do it for you.
Okay.
So one of your goals was speaking engagements, right? To do more speaking engagements, to get out in your field as a, SME, right? And communications and diversity, equity, inclusion. And you have done that twice already this year? 3 times?
I'm preparing for my 3rd speaking engagement.
Yes. Listen, that is an achievement.
It is.
Yes, and so I'm very proud of you. So,
well, thank you. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Look at Auntie Sandra said, "Anytime, Tasha. Bless the Lord. Thank you."
Okay. She just said it. It didn't happen.
I think celebrating achievements is important, and absolutely. People like you and other friends that I know. I think the humility causes us oftentimes not to sort of put things out that you've done. And so if I should do it, right? That's all I'm saying, right? Like I should celebrate my friends more, and I try to be a lot more cognizant of it. So when I recognize things, like I have on my calendar at work, like monthly accomplishments, like how can I celebrate somebody else on my team, in my leadership, because you have all these things at work that you can do, send high fives and all this stuff, right? But I have to remember to do it because we're just so busy with life. And so same thing in my friend circle, celebrating people, because we just don't do it ourselves enough. So I celebrate you, and I'm proud of you for taking on those speaking engagements and speaking to some kids in Iowa even, right? I mean, like you international, girl, or national. National. Yeah.
Well, thank you. So first off, and I thank you, Jeff, for giving me a dope congrats. Now thank you for that. And what I will say is, again, just a part of practicing progress. There's a vision I kind of have where I want to see where I end up, and I'm just taking each step as it comes. Yeah. And I've been putting the effort forward and taking advantage of opportunities. And so within a very short amount of time, I'll be speaking in Orlando. I'll be speaking in DC. I got a lot of things happening. Was just speaking here in Charlotte. So it's exciting to see it happen. It is. Yeah, I mean, and for me, this is a very good point that we have to sort of remind ourselves. I don't necessarily celebrate because I'm on to the next. I forget. Yeah, I'm on to the next. And the other thing is I have to put it on social media, like on LinkedIn. So not comfortable for me, but these are the things I'm learning to do. But I remain grateful for the opportunity, and I'm enjoying the ride for sure. Yeah. All right. So let's just go over the 6 tips one more again.
All right.
We have tip number 1, figure out your whys. 2, establish tangible goals. This is on the way of progress, huh?
Yeah, I was going to say 3, create your game plan. Put forth positivity and gratitude.
Yes.
Practice it every day.
Practice reflection. Why is Sharon not going to pay for another meal for Tasha? Why? Let's reflect on that. And Number 6, celebrate every achievement.
Even though I'm like a fantastic friend,
You are a
I
fantastic
celebrate
friend.
her. She's gonna reflect on, the one time that she didn't cook for me.
Is that what I'm going to reflect on? All right. Okay. All right.
Anybody
That's
else have
always.
anything that they want to celebrate? Because we are here for the
Yes,
celebration.
let's celebrate.
So
Who's got
listen,
something to celebrate?
Sandra, Jeff, Evangela, Nan, if you all have something, Gail, let us celebrate
Come
you
on,
on
let's
your
celebrate you.
achievements.
While
Sharon,
we're
tell the
waiting for
folks
them
how
to
they
drop
can
something,
reach us.
always on Facebook at AQ Partners, on Instagram, AQ_partners, online at our website, the AQ Partners, and while you can't see it, the AQ Partners on LinkedIn. Please follow us. We look forward to seeing and connecting with you. And if you have some accountability goals or needs, listen, we're here for you. Reach out to us on any one of those platforms.
I got 2 shout outs that I would like to do before we my dad wrote a book.
Okay, that's right.
And he has been out there like putting his book out there. He did a reading at a book festival last weekend, and so I'm super proud of him. So we can celebrate that achievement.
Absolutely. Writing a book.
Writing a book, right? But
right.
being out there still like, letting people know about it, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And
What's the name of the book?
Reflections. Expositions.
That was close. Expositions by
Ronald Davis.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Get your copy on Amazon. And it's Gangsta E's birthday this weekend. So we want to send a shout out to Gangsta E. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Well, that's going to do it for us. I want to say thank you guys for joining us. And we'll see you very soon.
Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.